Look, guys, a ton of money being paid out in NFL contracts over the last week, right? I want to look at something a little more specifically, and maybe it's best looked at with a question for you. What was the first thing that you thought when Sauce got the number one contract in NFL history at cornerback, over $30 million a year? Besides, man, that's a lot of money. What I thought about was Brian Poles is brilliant, and I think he just robbed the NFL, and he continues to do it because you look at this Jaylen Johnson deal that he put together quite some time ago. It just looks better every single day, and he's continuing to follow this pattern of absolutely nailing contracts, giving them out before they're owed, and it just keeps looking better and better. And I think instead of saying, man, our cap is in good shape, good job, GM Ryan Poles. I think it's important to kind of break these down into actually real contract situations to let you know how brilliant he has been at getting his own players signed and rewarding our own. So I think it's kind of missed. He got his contract extension. Let's look at his players' contract extension. So getting his own players who have been successes signed, definitely a continuing accomplishment, but also kind of losing a player here and there. I'm not going to talk about that. Let's be positive here today. So we're looking at this Gardner contract as well. J.C. Horn, they've been signed at $25 million a year lately. Jalen Ramsey with the Steelers at 24.1. Patrick Surtain at 24.1. But this Sauce contract, Jaylen Johnson is signed through 2027 for $19 million per year. Just absolutely brilliant. And the contract isn't even that old. And it's not that it's not aging well right now. It started aging poorly pretty much right after it was signed because of a few weeks to 5.5 months after Johnson's signing for $19 million a year. Snead beat it with $19.1 million a year. Tyson Campbell at $19.1. AJ Terrell at $20.2. And then by the time Johnson's deal expires in 27, there's going to be many more cornerback extensions pushing this deal back down into obsolescence. And I think the Bears are believing that his playing quality is going to hold up as well. And he was graded 19th out of 222 cornerbacks last year by PFF. But it was kind of a down year. I'm going to put this up for perspective. The type of quarterbacks that are being paid more than him, he's not even in the top 10. And frankly, I would take him over most of these guys. He's 1 year removed from actually having such a positive quarterback rating against him that quarterbacks were better off throwing it in the dirt instead of throwing in his direction. So let's look at this. He was interviewed by Fox 32 Sports' Cassie Carlson. I always want to give credit. And this was at his youth camp, and he said he is coming for the league. He's aiming for his first team All-Pro this year. This is from Jaylen. I got second team already, so I'm trying to figure out what I can do to get first team. So let's kind of dig in here. Now with this bargain, this contract, it's likely going to have to be improved at some point. But right now for this year, the Bears can enjoy the bargain price. And if you're the Bears, you got to absolutely love this. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't want to screw our players out of big paydays, but it's this use of the cap and being preemptive instead of panicking when it's too late and getting contracts signed when you absolutely have to. So there might be trouble in paradise. This deal probably won't be seen through all the way through 2027. Like I'm saying, we are enjoying the initial cap savings due to this really smart signing by GM Ryan Poles. But let's see what Jaylen Johnson had to say on the Rick Eisen show with guest host Seth Rollins. Just seeing a lot of the other corners getting paid, I almost feel like we need to have another discussion coming up soon. The market's moving. As long as I keep being myself and keep playing at a high level, definitely going to be some more conversations coming up soon and really keep it long term. So he's got every right to feel that way. He's very close to outperforming this contract already. But he's the 13th highest paid corner by average per year. So here's kind of this list of guys that are making more money than him. You see if you would rather have all of these guys instead of him. Jaylen Johnson's at 19. Before him, you got Snead, Campbell, Diggs, Humphrey, Lattimore, Ward, Terrell. And then you can't really argue with some of these guys on top. I don't know about J.C. Horn, if that's really blowing my skirt up. But enough about this contract. Let's actually outline the actual brilliance of Ryan Poles. And let's look at another contract. Let's look at DJ Moore's contract, another absolute bargain. And now we're looking at, he's going to average $27.5 million across his 4 new years, being tacked on the years that were already on his contract. And at the time, he was 7th among wide receivers, and his total value was 5th, although he still had 2 years remaining on his current deal when he signed it. So this is absolutely crazy. We've got Jamar Chase resetting the market at 40. Then you've got Jet at 35, Lamb at 34. Keep going further and further down. You've got Metcalf, Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ayuk, Tyreek, Higgins, Waddle at 28.2. And then you have him slotting in right after Jaylen Waddle. So just an absolutely brilliant signing, not because of where he sits right now, but as these contracts continue to climb, he gave DJ Moore long-term security by simply tacking 4 years onto the 2 years already left on his deal, doing it way ahead of time. But now you're sitting here at a quality player. No signs of slowing down right now. And he's going to average $27.5 million 6 years from now, which is absolutely crazy. There's no way this isn't another bargain. And this isn't luck that this is happening. This is absolute highway robbery by our GM. Let's look at JJ's deal again, how Poles has approached extension since taking the wheel of the Chicago Bear. And all of this stuff was pulled from Spot Track. And this section of the video, I'm pulling a lot from Sports Mockery. Those guys do absolutely fantastic. And they provided a really good perspective here. They directly compared Jaylen Johnson's contract and production with Sauce Gardner's 4-year, $120.4 million extension at $30 million a year, $60 million guaranteed. So let's look at this. Jaylen Johnson, he signed 4 years, 76 total, 54 guaranteed, 43 guaranteed at signing, really front-loaded. The first year was $28 million in year 1. He took advantage of a ton of cap space that was available last year. And then it goes to $16 million in year 2. That beats both of the tags at his position. The tags for his position are 19 and 23 respectively. Just absolutely great cap structure. An early bite when we had those big cap numbers ready. Took that bite with the, $28 million in year 1, and now it's backloaded for comfort in the Windy City. So just really, really good. So actually, Johnson's cost ends up being $11 million less annually than Sauce Gardner. And Sauce Gardner, I'm not that impressed by him. I think I'd rather have Jaylen Johnson. Superior production last year, down year for Chicago Bears whole team with this new scheme with Dennis Allen. I think you're absolutely going to be loving Jaylen Johnson. So here's the thing. So with Johnson, he played all 17 games. Gardner only played 15. He had 53 tackles and 2 interceptions on a down year, mind you. So let's actually do apples to apples here. I'm going to start over here. So kind of looking at the comparison between Sauce Gardner and our Jaylen Johnson. Johnson played 17 games. Gardner played 15. Johnson had 53 tackles and 2 picks. Gardner had 49 tackles and 1 pick. PFF overall was 76.2, 19th out of 222 cornerbacks, with a coverage grade in the 98th percentile last year for Johnson. Absolutely sick. And then we go back to 2023, was absolutely even more insane. Johnson was graded at 90.8 overall. PFF's top cornerback last year. Absolutely unique. So let's do a little more stat comparison and also this cornerback economy. You're looking at this market, just Sauce Gardner gets $30.1 million. Derek Stingley Jr. signed $30 million deal back in March. J.C. Horn, 25. You got Johnson here at $19 million. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but this is just so cool to see. Absolute lottery, absolute robbery. Maybe hit the lottery, right? And Poles, he once again locked in elite cornerback play before the market exploded. He did the same thing with DJ Moore. Look, you got a player that's has 2 years left on his contract, wants to get paid, wants security, wants to stay in the city that he's in. And Ryan Poles is just like, hey, man, keep your contract that you have now. I'll tack on 4 more years, and there's no way to make this more team-friendly. So let's kind of look at this. An absolute steal. Since 2022, let's look at what Poles has been doing. He's gone big on defense, but it's always smart. It's always cap-friendly. Montez Sweat, the $24 million a year, paid a second-round pick. Then he signed to a 4-year, $98 million deal. That deal is looking like a bargain now. Granted, he had an off year last year, but I don't think that's going to keep happening. Jaylen Johnson for 19. TJ Edwards. You're looking at one of the best value signings in 2023 at linebacker and continuing to be so. He's one of the best tacklers in the entire NFL, and TJ Edwards is on our team for $6.5 million a year. Kyler Gordon, one of the best, I would say one of the best nickel coverage corners in the game. He is on the way up. He just signed a 3-year, $40 million extension this offseason, only $13.3 million guaranteed. That's going to age really, really well. Just really cost-controlled move that rewards upside, but it's not overpaying. And I'm not going to get into the minutia, but all of these new contracts that these players are signing, we're talking 3-year contracts that protect the team. They're locked in for at least 2 years. 3 if they ball out. Every single one of these contracts, the Bears are able to get out after year 2. All these linemen that were signed, the 2 guards that were signed, the center that was signed, Grady Jarrett, Dio, all these players are essentially 2-year deals that we got to pay them. And every single one of those contracts, GM Ryan Poles can get out of in year 3 without really hurting the dead cap situation whatsoever. Just smart, cost-controlled, that rewards upside without tanking the team. We are looking at Sweat having 12.5 sacks in 2023. We'll see how that comes through. Kyler Gordon, I will say, is one of the best slot corners in the entire NFL. Edwards leads the team in tackles constantly. You got to look at this. Poles, once again, he identified a primetime talent on the rise and once again locked him in before the rest of the league even realized what the Chicago Bears are doing. It absolute larceny time and time again. I'm really excited about this because he locked in elite cornerback play before he had to pay him. Made extra cap space to fix weaknesses on the team to fix them, and we've seen that happening. He just builds with vision. He never panics because if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, they are constantly panicking. They wait until the last minute to sign their players. I'm not sure why they do that, and they end up paying top dollar and above every single time. They still don't have Hendrickson signed. You've got Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. He's like, I'll pay it when I see it. Contracts, I mean, he's going to pay through the nose for Micah Parsons. It's just absolutely crazy. All of these contracts for these 2 teams, Chase, Higgins, Parsons, Hendrickson, all of these contracts, if GM Ryan Poles was the GM of these teams, their contracts would have been signed 1 or 2 years ago because he just does it smart, man. Never panicking. You guys let me know what you think. I'm overly excited because training camp's about to start, and I'm just nervous. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I think we've built a juggernaut here. I cannot wait to see the results on the field. And this was also further reinforced because now we have all of our second-round picks signed. I believe I just saw that Luther Burden III, he just signed a contract that's fully guaranteed. I think it's approximately $10 million per year. I might be wrong on that. I just kind of glanced at it as I was shooting this video. You guys, this team is built to last, long-term cap health, and I can't love it enough. You guys bear down. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.